Welcome to Kunzy Podcast English, the place where true, deep, and inspiring life stories are told. Have you ever believed that the people closest to you will always protect you? But what happens when those very people become the source of your deepest pain? Today, I will share the story of Maya, a young woman living in the shadow of secrets and betrayal, caught between the line of family love and fear. Join me on this dramatic journey to understand the power of truth and unstoppable courage. Don't look away, because the story is just beginning. Maya is only 20 years old, a young woman full of dreams, studying at university in a bustling city. Her life seems peaceful on the surface, but beneath it lies a story few know about. Maya is not just an ordinary college student. She carries deep sorrows from a painful past. 10 years ago, when she was still a child under 10, tragedy struck suddenly when her parents died in a tragic car accident. Since then, Maya's life changed forever. After that tragedy, Maya lost not only her parents, but also the peace of a childhood filled with love and care. She was taken in and raised by her older sister, Leah, who became both a sister and a mother figure. Leah is the only solid support and protector Maya has had throughout her years of growing up. It was not easy for a young woman to carry such responsibility, but Leah did everything with all her heart and strength. Leah is a special woman. She is not only a sister, but also a history professor at the very university where Maya studies. Her seriousness in her work, combined with a compassionate heart, made Leah a role model for Maya, a person who always knows how to face challenges with resilience. Leah embodies patience, strength, and deep love for her sister. She does not simply replace the role of a mother, but fulfills that role with dedication and boundless affection. Their life together seemed stable, but not everything was as simple as it appeared. Leah married Dr. Ethan Clark, a man respected and admired by everyone. Ethan is also a professor at the same university, known for his calm, gentle nature and steady composure in every situation. People often spoke of him with admiration. He is a kind and decent man. Ethan seemed to be the ideal husband Leah had always hoped for. They became a perfect couple in the eyes of friends, colleagues, and family. Everyone believed Leah and Ethan were a perfect match of love and reason, respect and understanding. Leah placed all her trust in Ethan, believing he would build a happy and lasting home with her. A marriage based on true love, and everything seemed to be following the path of happiness. But life is not always as rosy as it seems. Beneath that peaceful surface, Maya began to sense something was wrong. A small sign, but enough to make her feel uneasy. Ethan was not the perfect man everyone thought he was. The way he looked at Maya was no longer gentle, but slowly became strange, making her heart race whenever he appeared. It seemed there was a dark secret beneath Ethan's polite exterior, something Maya could not ignore. Maya lived in the suffocating contradiction of this reality. She loved her sister deeply, cherished their sacred bond, but was tormented by anxiety. The indescribable feeling grew stronger day by day, from fleeting glances, passing words to unexplained actions. She started to realize that Ethan was not just the gentle man everyone praised, but possibly a completely different person few knew about. This was the beginning of a challenging journey. Maya's journey to face harsh truths, confront silent pain few dare to admit within a family. The story is not only about family love, but also a lesson in courage, resilience, and the determination not to let darkness take over one's life. Maya and Leah, two inseparable sisters, were once the symbol of unbreakable closeness. But as secrets slowly unravel, they will have to face the harshest truths. Will love and trust be strong enough to heal the wounds? Or will betrayal tear them apart forever? All will be revealed in Maya's brave story, a story not for the faint-hearted. After days that seemed peaceful, Maya began to sense something unusual from Ethan, the husband everyone admired, the man her sister once trusted and loved deeply. Ethan's gaze towards Maya was no longer the same. It was no longer polite or respectful, but a look difficult to describe, making Maya feel uneasy and deeply unsettled. That gaze was not merely caring or attentive. It carried a hidden meaning, an inappropriate scrutiny that Maya couldn't ignore. Every time Ethan looked at her, her heart raced, her throat tightened, and a chill ran down from her neck to her feet. Maya tried to avoid his eyes, but that look clung to her like an inescapable shadow. It didn't stop there. Ethan's behavior grew increasingly obvious. At first, it was just casual messages, but gradually, affectionate texts started flooding Maya's phone. At first, she thought it might be a mistake or a joke, but as the messages kept coming day and night, filled with sweet and suggestive words, Maya could no longer deny the painful truth. "You looked beautiful today. I can't stop thinking about you. Give me a chance. I know you feel the same. Let's meet tonight. Just the two of us." Each message hit Maya's heart like a heavy blow. She felt confused and scared, but didn't know what to do. She knew if she told Leah, it would hurt her deeply. Her sister who had replaced their parents to care for and protect her like a mother. How could she burden Leah with such a painful truth? Maya chose silence, trying to push away negative thoughts and emotions, hoping to keep everything normal. But the fear grew bigger, and she felt increasingly isolated. Sometimes Ethan waited for her outside class, flashing a cold smile and saying, "You're special, Maya." Those words didn't bring safety, but increased her anxiety. One day, Ethan sent flowers to her room, stood by her car when she left, even followed her steps around the university campus. His sweet words were laced with desire. "You're young, you're beautiful, and every moment I see you, I love you more." Those words made Maya tremble, tears welling up, as she felt threatened and invaded by someone she once trusted to protect her. Many nights, Maya sat alone in her bed, silently crying, overwhelmed with pain and confusion, not knowing what to do. She couldn't lie to Leah, but she also couldn't hurt her by revealing this truth. It was a terrible contradiction, a battle between loyalty and fear, between silence and truth. Ethan didn't only use words, he tried to force Maya to talk to him. "You must love me. I don't care you're Leah's sister." Those words stabbed Maya's heart like a sharp knife, leaving her deeply offended and wounded. Yet she still kept silent because she knew once spoken, nothing would ever be the same. Anxiety and fear grew day by day. Maya felt trapped in an invisible cage she couldn't escape. She couldn't believe the man her sister loved and trusted was the source of her greatest pain. Every day was a challenge, a dull ache she had to endure quietly. Sleepless nights and silent tears, Maya wondered if she had the strength to face this truth. But a part of her knew silence was not the answer. She had to find a way to protect herself and the sister she loved, even if it meant facing immense pain and loss. Maya's silence was not weakness, but a way to protect what was most sacred, her sister's love and happiness. Yet she knew the truth could not be hidden forever. One day it would explode, and when that day came, she must be ready to face all consequences, no matter how painful. And that was when Maya's hardest journey began, a journey of courage and struggle to speak the truth, even though it could shatter everything she held dear. Ethan relentlessly pursued Maya with an obsession that felt overwhelming. Fresh bouquets of flowers appeared at her door like sweet messages, yet each one carried a heavy pressure, weighing down her young heart. Each flower was not just an inappropriate declaration of affection, but a hidden warning, as if Ethan was sending a message that Maya could not escape his grasp. After every class, Maya would find Ethan quietly waiting for her, his tall figure and gentle yet strange gaze sending chills down her spine. He stood among the crowd at the university, smiling in a way that made Maya uneasy. She tried to avoid him, walking faster, but Ethan stayed close behind every step she took. His constant presence didn't just tense Maya. It left her confused, unsure how to break free from his control. The pressure grew heavier and heavier, like dark clouds enveloping Maya's mind. She feared Ethan's actions, but even more painful was the burden of keeping this secret locked deep inside. Each night, Maya would cry silently in her room, tears mingling with the unbearable pain of a girl who was both terrified and deeply devoted to her only remaining sister. Her love for Leah was an invisible tether, binding her, preventing her from confiding in anyone. Every passing second, Maya felt the fierce conflict raging inside her. She wanted to run, to scream for release from the nightmare, but feared hurting Leah, who had been her steadfast support through all of life's losses. This love and loyalty stopped Maya from revealing the truth. She told herself to endure a little longer, believing somehow this would all pass. But the reality was only getting worse. Ethan's ambitious eyes became a haunting shadow that pursued Maya every day. It was not just the texts or his appearances outside her classes, but the suggestive words and overly familiar gestures that Maya could not accept. Ethan seemed blind to the fact that to her, he was not a man of safety, but the source of fear and pain. Long, sleepless nights made Maya wonder why her life had fallen into such darkness. She was just a young woman, barely 20, trying to build her future, yet carrying a dark secret she couldn't share with anyone. Loneliness, fear, and pressure piled up like heavy stones on her shoulders, leaving her emotionally exhausted. Yet amid this darkness, Maya held on to a small flame, the flame of resilience and determination. She refused to let Ethan destroy her life and Leah's. Despite the pain and fear, Maya knew she had to be strong, to find a way to protect herself and her beloved sister. She began telling herself that silence could not be forever. One day, the truth would have to come out to free them both. In Maya's mind, the image of Leah, her sister, her substitute mother, always shone clearly. Leah was not only a sister, but someone who had sacrificed so much to give Maya a home and a better future. Maya didn't want Leah to be hurt, but she also knew that hiding the truth would only spread the suffering to those she loved. Ethan's persistent and forceful interference turned Maya's life into an endless internal battle. But Maya, though fragile and scared, resolved not to surrender. She quietly sought help, even if only in her thoughts, trying to find ways to escape this emotional storm. Maya understood that no matter how challenging the road ahead, she could not let herself be crushed. Her love for Leah and for herself would be the strength to overcome the darkness. From her tears, she began to nurture hope. Hope that one day she could speak the truth and step out of the shadows to live a free and peaceful life. Maya's journey was not only a story of suffering and fear, but also one of courage and persistence in protecting herself and her loved ones. It was a reminder that no matter the circumstance, we can find strength to rise and fight for what we believe in. Maya knew that Ethan's interference was something she could never accept. No matter how many challenges piled up, she would keep striving to regain safety and freedom for herself and her beloved sister. Maya finally gathered all her courage to reveal the painful truth to Leah. Her heart pounded with fear and hope as she tried to find the right words to make Leah understand the danger lurking so close to them. But the moment the words left her lips, everything changed. Instead of the comforting embrace she longed for, Maya was met with disbelief. Leah's eyes hardened, her voice sharp and cold. She accused Maya of jealousy, of trying to sabotage her sister's marriage. "How could you think that about Ethan? You must be imagining things. Stop trying to ruin my happiness," Leah said with a harshness that cut deeper than any wound. Maya's heart shattered into a million pieces. The sister who once was her protector now turned into a stranger, pushing her away with anger and rejection. Leah's harsh words echoed in Maya's ears, making her feel more isolated than ever. She was alone in a battle she never wanted to fight, trapped in a prison of silence and pain. Maya's world crumbled. She felt the sting of betrayal, the loneliness of being misunderstood by the one person she loved most. Each harsh glance, every cold word from Leah was like a blow, driving Maya further into despair. Yet beneath the heartbreak, a small voice inside her whispered that she must stay strong. Despite the isolation and rejection, Maya refused to give up. She knew that the truth was real, and no denial could erase the shadows that Ethan cast over their lives. Her love for Leah remained unbroken, even if Leah could not see it now. Maya's struggle was not only against the darkness outside, but also the pain of losing the trust of her closest family. In the silence that followed, Maya's resolve grew stronger. She understood that telling the truth was only the first step. Now she had to find a way to protect herself and Leah, even if it meant standing alone against the storm. The road ahead was uncertain and filled with pain. But Maya's spirit burned fiercely with hope and courage. This moment marked a turning point, a moment where Maya had to choose between despair and resilience. Though deeply hurt, she decided to fight for justice, for safety, and for the love that still tied her heart to Leah's. Maya fell into a deep darkness she had never imagined facing. The long days became endless. She lost her appetite and no longer wanted to go to class as before. Every step felt heavy, as if pulled backward by feelings of abandonment and overwhelming loneliness. Leah's harsh words echoed in her mind, along with the fear that surfaced every time she saw Ethan's shadow. The betrayal came not only from her sister, but also from her closest friend. Sophia, whom Maya once trusted completely, now turned away. Ethan had spread cruel rumors, defaming Maya so much that Sophia no longer listened to her explanations or the truth. Maya's life seemed filled only with the cold sounds of doubt and isolation. But amid the suffering, a small flame still burned in Maya's heart. She told herself she couldn't let fear and loneliness consume her. She had to protect herself and fight to expose the truth behind Ethan's fake facade. With no other choice, Maya began gathering every message, photo, and piece of evidence she could use to prove the pain she was enduring. Every time she looked back at those haunting messages, Maya felt both hurt and more determined than ever. She knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but she had to move forward for justice, for her love for her sister and for herself. The dark days might last, but the light of truth would never go out if she dared to stand up and speak her voice. In loneliness and despair, Maya still held on to a strange hope that one day everything would be clear, and those who loved her would see Ethan's true nature. It was a small flame, but strong enough to keep Maya from falling, strong enough to inspire anyone going through similar pain. Maya stood in front of the mirror, summoning all her courage to step out of the shadows of pain and silence. She printed all the messages, pictures, and every piece of evidence Ethan had sent her. The sweet but deceitful words, the haunting gestures of pursuit. Each sheet in her hand was a fragment of truth, a voice crying out from a wounded heart. She knew it was time to act, no longer able to live in fear and doubt. With trembling hands, Maya brought the evidence to the university office, hoping someone would stand by her side, protecting the truth and justice. The administration received the serious documents and silently read every message, every photo of flowers Ethan had sent, every inappropriate confession Maya had endured in silence. The atmosphere in the room grew heavy. They carefully discussed and decided to thoroughly investigate the matter to protect the students and uphold the school's honor. After a thorough investigation, the administration confirmed that Maya's claims were undeniable truth. An urgent meeting was called, and Leah, the sister Maya had always trusted, was invited to confront the evidence. Leah entered the room with a strange, doubtful look. But when she saw the messages and clear pictures right before her eyes, her face began to change. Each line weighed heavily on her heart, her hands trembling as she held the papers. Leah could hardly believe such a harsh truth. The feeling of guilt stabbed her like a sharp knife as she realized she had doubted and treated her beloved sister poorly. Tears welled up and spilled over, releasing months of pent-up regret and pain. Leah looked straight into Maya's eyes, her voice choked but sincere. "Maya, I am so sorry. I was wrong not to believe you and hurt you with harsh words. You are not a liar, but a brave girl who endured pain that was never yours to bear." The two sisters embraced tightly, the warmth of their hug healing the deep wounds in Maya's heart. Now, Maya was no longer alone. The truth had been revealed, and justice had begun to prevail. A new chapter of forgiveness and love opened, where despite the cracks, their sisterly bond was stronger and more resilient than ever. Leah sat alone in the small room, the dim light casting tired and remorseful shadows on her face. In recent days, thoughts of Maya had been weighing heavily on her heart. She had been wrong, deeply wrong, to refuse to believe her sister's words, to let jealousy and suspicion cloud her judgment. But now, faced with harsh truth, Leah realized that all she could do was make amends and start over. One afternoon, Leah came to Maya's side, her footsteps trembling as if to apologize for all the pain she had unintentionally caused. Tears streamed down her face, mingling with the sobs of a sister long separated by misunderstanding and hurt. Leah offered a sincere apology, revealing her deep regret. She admitted that she had misunderstood and had not stood by Maya when she needed her the most. Those words felt like a warm flame soothing the wounds that had been bleeding in Maya's heart. But Leah's change did not stop at an apology. She made a decision that shocked everyone to divorce Ethan, the man who had brought so much turmoil to their family. This was not just a firm decision, but a powerful act to protect sisterly love and herself from lingering shadows and pain. Leah was no longer a passive, resigned woman. She became a symbol of resilience and courage, standing up against a marriage full of darkness. The journey was not easy. There were painful and agonizing days, but Leah knew that without strength, she could not preserve what was most precious, the bond of sisterhood and peace within her soul. During those difficult times, Maya and Leah gradually healed the deep cracks in their hearts, erasing all doubts and fears. They learned to listen, understand, and forgive each other. Their sisterly love grew stronger than ever, like a blazing flame in the dark night, lighting the path ahead. Maya no longer felt alone or hopeless. She knew that no matter how the world turned its back, her sister was always by her side, a peaceful harbor she could always return to. Together, they rebuilt a new life founded on trust and genuine love. This transformation not only made them stronger, but also helped them cherish the simplest things in life: the warmth of family, the power of forgiveness, and the strength of kinship. Maya and Leah's story became proof that no matter how many challenges one faces, with love and courage, people can rise, move forward, and conquer the darkness in their lives. Their story did not end with sighs of regret, but with joyful laughter and peaceful days filled with love and hope. Maya and Leah, two sisters who had once been deeply hurt, were now strong warriors, ready to face any challenge ahead, because they knew that together they could overcome anything. In life, few people realize that the ones we love the most, the people we trust, cherish, and are willing to sacrifice everything for, can sometimes be the source of our deepest pain. Maya, Leah, and Ethan's story is not just a personal tale. It reflects harsh truths found in many families and relationships. It teaches us valuable lessons about trust, courage, and the power of truth. The first thing we must understand is those closest to us can cause the greatest pain, but the truth will always come to light. This is an unchanging rule. When the truth is revealed, though it may shake us deeply, it is also the first step toward healing, rebuilding trust, and finding peace within. In many cases, as Maya experienced, hurt caused by loved ones can leave us confused and heartbroken. Fear, doubt, and loneliness might push us into silence, making us endure the pain quietly or hide the truth to avoid hurting others. Yet, that silence can plant seeds of more pain and ultimately destroy ourselves. No one should suffer injustice or harm in silence. Staying silent in the face of wrongdoing only allows it to grow, spread, and harm more people. Remember, speaking out is not only protecting yourself, but also a responsibility to those around you and society as a whole. Maya bravely overcame her fear, gathered evidence, and faced the truth head-on. Her journey was not just about self-protection, but also a powerful proof of the strength of truth. Her story reminds us that no matter the circumstances or how deeply we have been hurt or betrayed, the truth is the strongest weapon against darkness. Another important lesson is that trust must be built on transparency and mutual respect. When Leah faced undeniable evidence, she chose to admit her mistake, make amends, and repair her relationship with her sister. Nobody is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes. What matters most is how we respond when the truth is revealed. Forgiveness and acceptance are essential steps to rebuild trust and love. In modern society, many people face challenges similar to Maya's. At times, we feel alone and vulnerable, unsure where to turn for support and understanding. But remember, you are not alone. Every shared story, every voice that speaks out, is a powerful force breaking the cycle of fear and injustice. Never lose faith in yourself. No matter how difficult the situation, no matter how deeply those closest to you have hurt you, your inner strength is the greatest asset that helps you stand up and keep moving forward. Be brave to face the truth and never let fear control your life. This story also sends a message about family unity, the protection and love we offer each other in the hardest times. Leah and Maya overcame their trial together, healing emotional wounds and stepping into a new journey stronger and more resilient. Sisterly love is not only blood relation, but also trust, sharing, and standing up for each other no matter what. Finally, this story is a strong reminder to all of us. Never stay silent when you are hurt. Speak up to uphold the truth. No matter how difficult or painful it might be, truth is always the light that leads the way to justice and peace for ourselves and those around us. If you're listening to this story and feel trapped in a difficult situation, suffering injustice, or too scared to speak out, remember that you are not alone. Believe in the power of truth and the courage inside you. Step out of the darkness, speak your truth, and seek help from those who truly care. If you find this story inspiring and meaningful, please share to spread this powerful message to more people. And especially, don't forget to subscribe to Kunzy Podcast English so you won't miss out on genuine, heartfelt stories that inspire and help you grow stronger on your own journey. Kunzy Podcast English, a place to share real-life stories, motivate, and uplift brave souls.